a shame. 1, 2, 3, stretch her out at the old ball game.
Good morning and welcome into Packs for Breakfast. Nice to be here this week. Randy, how are you doing today?
Doing all right. 2024, it's almost over. Get rid of it. It could go away. 2024 could be done, especially after the Broncos lost yesterday to the Bengals.
That was such a horrible game. I was watching
Oh,
that and I just couldn't believe that they didn't go for two and try and just put the dagger in right there because they weren't able to stop Cincinnati at that point. So it's like give Bo Nix the ball. You got if you don't win, there's always next week. Anyway, let's just finish it now. Come on, Sean Payton. He was too conservative and it bit him in the ass.
yeah. No, I agree. It's like go for two and put this thing away. It's like stop trying to, don't play for overtime. It's like this team already showed it can't do anything. So it's like just try. If you lose, you already lost anyway. So it's like at least give yourself a chance to win on something like that, and then you can guarantee your playoff spot. Now everything's still up in the air.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It was a bad game all around. It just wasn't that good. But that's kind of the way the NFL goes this time of year.
Yeah, it's like look as good as your team is doing, and you're still in third place in your division.
I know today's a big game for those guys. It'll be a fun one to watch.
Oh yeah, for the you and the Vikings, that is a big game.
Last little thing on football before we transition over. I really hate that they put last night's game on NFL Network only. It's it's Saturday. Everybody, if you want people to watch, put it on a network that we can get. I'm not paying for the NFL Network for one game. Come on, guys.
Yeah, no, it's like I can't stand it when they do that. I still remember when ESPN2 first came out and they wanted to get people to watch ESPN2 and they said, "Oh, call your cable provider and get them to request ESPN2." They put the Duke North Carolina basketball game on ESPN2 and it made people furious at ESPN for doing that.
Hmm.
It's like I remember that controversy. It was they were so mad.
So it's interesting. We were talking about next week. We are rapidly closing in on the new year. 2024 is almost over. And I started thinking about when got this set in of 19 of the 98 Pacific Online. The first thing that came to mind made me laugh because it was Y2K, and we are rapidly approaching the end of the year. And I thought it was only fitting that we talk about Y2K because 1998 is when these cards specifically were designed with the players' websites, not them. It was like the team's website for the player. So each card had the website to the team. So if it's like, uh, you know, this guy plays for the Rockies, here's the Rockies website. You can find more about the player. Mostly it was just the internet was becoming big, and Pacific capitalized on that or wanted to, and made baseball cards with websites on them. And that was back in the time when AOL was still kicking. You had to put a CD in your computer to get access to dial up. And anyway, it was kind of fitting that Y2K had just kind of jumped in and started becoming a thing. And here we are looking at baseball cards.
Well, yeah, because in 1998, it's like people started thinking about 1999 at the end, and they were sitting there going, "Oh, what's going to happen when the numbers have to roll over?" You know, and it's like, and if we were thinking about it, if just as casual human beings in 1998, guess what? All those businesses were thinking about it too, and trying to come up with a solution so that they don't everything doesn't, crash. So it's like I never worried about Y2K, but it was a thing. It was a big thing. It's like if you're old enough to remember, it's like even I was working at Sears at the time, and Sears did not sell bottled water. They just didn't. It wasn't something they ever sold. But before, in December of '99, we started bringing in pallets of bottled water and generators like crazy, and all of it sold out. All of it.
It was a panic.
Sears made a fortune.
So anyway, I thought it was kind of funny because one of the next sets I have coming in is 2000, and I thought that would have been fitting to do 2000 as our set for this week because I just remember the staying up till midnight. Everybody's panicking, people are in their bomb shelters and stuff, and you know what happened? Nothing.
It was so uneventful.
It
It was
was.
just. There wasn't. Nobody had any problems. I think maybe a couple of small businesses did, but it's like, the airplane stayed in the air. None of the ships sank. The power grids didn't go down. Everything worked just as it's supposed to.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And think about it. This millennium is now a quarter of a century old. We're going to be 25 years into this millennium.
I know, and it's crazy thinking about, just the evolution of cards in general. Think about, 1990, peak junk wax era, uh, through 1998 as peak junk wax had started to kind of fall off, and then where we are now. That's been a long time. 25 years, 30 years, 35 years. You don't really think about it that way until you start, looking at it in terms of actual time. It's been a while.
Well, and it's funny because you give me all those cards so that I can do the videos, and it's like you can definitely feel the difference in the cards, the more modern cards and those cards from the '90s. I mean, there's a huge difference in quality.
Oh, absolutely. Quality, they're more fun to open. I mean, these were fun back in their day, but now you just have inserts and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it's like newer packs. It's like we have 65 different inserts. In fact, it's like if you get a pack without an insert, it might be something special.
Yeah. I think we're very rapidly approaching another junk wax era, which is kind of funny, just in the sense of history repeating itself. But we could talk about that later. I think we should get into some of these cards.
Yep. Start
Now,
opening them up.
now Pacific Online, they had they didn't really do inserts. They had one gold foil card per pack, and so there's your gold foil. In this particular pack is Dave Hollins, but you can see up top it says the player bigleaguers.com/Dave Hollins HTML, and then angelsbaseball.com. So there was some websites you could go check out if you wanted to go see more about Dave Hollins.
So what you're telling me is that Dave Hollins, I mean, is that him in an Angels uniform? Doesn't even look like an Angels uniform.
Yeah, it's the Angels.
Boy, it doesn't look like it. It must have been some,
You can
because
see
you don't see any of the red.
you can see it on his helmet. You could
Yeah.
yeah. So our first card in 1998, Dave Hollins. Nothing spectacular.
No, Dave Hollins is not spectacular. It was okay, but not spectacular.
And we got Noma.
You know what? I liked Nomar Garcia Parra.
Well, so did all of Boston.
Yeah. It's like, now didn't he move on somewhere else, or did he spend his whole career in Boston?
I can't remember. I believe he stayed in Boston, but
Yeah, I
he,
gotta see, because it's like, you know what? It's like it's a name you don't hear very much anymore. but he was good in his time. It's like I think we forget just how good Nomar Garciaparra was. So Nomar, yeah, he played for the Sox for 9 years. He played for the Cubs for a couple of years, the Dodgers for 3 years, and he played for the Athletics at the end of his career.
Interesting.
He never won a Gold Glove, weirdly.
You got Dave Martinez for the Devil Rays, which this was back when they had the best uniforms. I liked these uniforms.
Oh yeah, those were great. I loved them being just called the Devil Rays.
Yep. All right. Got Bobby Hughes for the Brewers.
Yeah, I don't think. I think he's probably in the solid catcher, but I don't even think he was a solid catcher. I think he was just a backup catcher.
Boy, this is not the Greg Packett, third baseman for the Mets, back when the Mets were horrible.
Yeah, Craig. Yeah, I don't even. I remember Craig Paquette, but I don't remember that much about him.
We got Shane Halter. That's the shortstop.
Alto shortstop.
Yeah, for the Royals. See, we haven't had anybody even remotely exciting yet. Jesus Sanchez, pitcher for the Marlins. See, we got Darren Fletcher for.
Now he was the epitome of the solid catcher.
He was the solid catcher. Darren Fletcher for the Blue Jays. And then we're going to end out on a Diamondback. Let's see, Jorge Fabregas. 3 catchers in a row.
Oh, that's a lot of catchers in one pack.
That's a lot of catchers.
You know what I'm telling you right now? Out of that pack of cards, it's like I'm not going to a lot of those websites to check out more about those players.
Probably not. All right. Oh man, I wonder if Pacific didn't really have like the rights to do all the players. We got Kareem Garcia for the Diamondbacks.
Well, so far they don't seem to have access to a lot of the stars.
Oh.
There's a good one.
There's a shortstop we can put in for now.
Yeah, Barry Larkin. He's the more and more I think about it, it's like if I could have any shortstop in the history of baseball, it would probably be Barry Larkin.
Yeah.
Not Carlos Reyes.
I was just trying to think about that, and I go, I don't know. There's few.
Well, but the thing is, it's like I mean, with A-Rod, you had good pop in his bat. I mean, he had great pop in his bat, but then he gets busted for steroids. You lose him for a year. Jeter, I think, is overrated, especially as a defensive guy. Ripken was good, but it's like he didn't win that many Gold Gloves, so it's not like he was a great glove at short. Ozzie Smith, one of the greatest gloves ever at short, but he couldn't hit.
Yeah, Barry definitely. He was a complete player for sure.
It's like, and that's the thing I like because I think Barry Larkin would have had more Gold Gloves if he didn't play kind of in the same era as Ozzie Smith. But I think Ozzie took a lot of those Gold Gloves from him.
We got the gambler, Kenny Rogers. Pitcher for the Athletics.
As an A, all right. Not as a Texas Ranger.
Dale. I don't know how to say that last name.
Swaim. Dale Swaim. Swaim. Yeah, the V is pronounced kind of like a W.
Interesting. I don't remember him at all.
Yeah, it's like, no, I remember his name getting said a lot on ESPN. Or not a lot. I mean, it's not like he was a great player. Well, but I do remember
he was a Yankee, so he got some coverage. Got Mark Guthrie.
Barry Larkin did get 3 Gold Gloves in that era.
One of my favorite names ever, Paul Ossenmacher.
Oh yeah, that was such a great name. Started out, I think, as a Cubby, but I like the name Ossenmacher. Just wasn't a great player, but I like the name.
He's got a Reds pitcher, Scott Winchester, and then we're gonna end this pack on Curtis Pride, outfielder.
And he was supposed to be. He was supposed to be. He was a prospect, but he never really panned out. Maybe he didn't take enough pride in his preparation.
All right, so we got a gold of Jason Dixon for the Angels pitcher. Man, we're just, I mean, as far as
Gold Angels. This is a religious thing, isn't it? The Gold Angels.
we got
Dave Hollins was a Gold Angel.
we got Cal Ripken. That's nice, and it's a checklist. Also nice.
All right.
We got a checklist.
Got a checklist with Cal Ripken on it. That makes it even a better checklist.
All right, we got Miguel Cairo, second baseman for Rays.
Like I said, love that logo, but man, I don't remember Miguel Cairo that well.
Jeff Brantley, pitcher for the Cardinals. Decent pitcher, nothing.
Yeah, almost want to say he was a future Rocky, but don't quote me on that one.
We got Matt Franco for the Mets. Jim Pitsley, pitcher for the Royals. So it looks like if you were not a Frank Castillo pitcher, if you were a lower level player in the MLB, I think Pacific Online was your that was your card.
Yeah, yeah.
Maglio Ordonez for the Sox.
Maglio Ordonez was a pretty good player. He really was.
All right, there's Tony Bautista, who I don't remember. I don't even remember him playing for the D-backs, but
he was pretty good though. Didn't he play for the Blue Jays?
that's what I thought.
Yeah, it's like so far these packs seem to feature a lot of Diamondbacks and Angels.
We haven't seen one.
So
We haven't seen a Rocky yet. That's weird.
so many snakes that bite angels, I think, is what happens.
See, we got Alan Embry in the gold, pitcher for the Braves, and just as
All
I
right.
say that, there he is.
Oh, look at that. That's our right fielder right there. That's not even hard to even think about.
Yep, Hall of Famer.
Yep, Hall of Famer Larry Walker.
Rich Amaral.
He was okay.
Yep.
I mean, Rich Amaral.
Hey.
Oh, there's a good pitcher.
There's a good pitcher. Kurt's going to go in the pitching spot. I think, this is the point where we've been recycling all of these players. Like, we've already had Kurt up on the wall, but,
Yeah, but I think he got bumped off. Well, no. Did we keep Kurt for one of them? We might have.
I think we did. Javier Valentin, solid catcher.
Yep.
Jesse Levis, solid catcher.
Back to back.
Rick Helling, decent pitcher for the Rangers.
Ooh, put him with all the Angels with the name Helling.
Here's a guy, Brian Schaus.
Boy, I'm telling you right now, they took a picture of him at spring training, and they just said, "Look, if you get it on a card, we're using this picture, and that's it."
Yeah, that was posed for sure.
Yeah, because it's like that is not game. That is not a game picture.
I think Mr. Brady Anderson might have to go out into the outfield for now because
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
he was, he wasn't horrible. So he's going to go.
He wasn't horrible. He did have the 50 home run season. He kind of fell off after that, but there was a couple years there. It's like, I kind of became a Brady Anderson fan. I kind of rooted for him, especially when he was trying to get that 50. Like I said, I was never big on caring that much about the steroid era, so anybody could hit 50. I always thought it was pretty cool.
And you got Jay Bell, shortstop for the Diamondbacks. I'm pretty sure he was a Rocky.
He might have been.
There's Nomar again. Oh man, we're already recycling cards. That's not good. Steve Finley, outfielder for the Padres.
He was good. He was always in that same thing as Luis Gonzalez. I always got Luis Gonzalez and Finley mixed up because they seemed like the same outfielder to me.
Tom Candiotti. I'm trying to remember. I feel like there was a Candiotti who was a knuckleballer.
See, I like the name Candiotti. I don't remember if there was a knuckleballer named Candiotti. Maybe Tom Candiotti was the knuckleballer.
Maybe.
But it doesn't look like he's trying to throw a knuckleball there.
Then we got Joe Girardi. Catcha.
You know, he was actually a really good catcher. Not super, but he was pretty good defensively, decent hitter. I mean, he wasn't terrible. And he was a Cub for a while.
Played for the Rockies.
He did play for the Rockies.
He's going to go up on the wall for now.
You know what? Tom Candiotti was the knuckleballer.
Was he the knuckleballer?
He was the knuckleballer. Played for Milwaukee, Cleveland, Toronto, Oakland, and the Dodgers.
Because I remember whenever he would, when I would see him play, I always, the catcher would have to put a big mitt on.
You know, he wasn't bad. 151 and 164. So, I mean, he had a long career. And he had a 3.73 ERA. So, not terrible. Not a terrible pitcher.
He was a knuckleballer, so he wasn't throwing super hard.
Nope. Save that arm. Play a long time if you can get it over.
Future manager Craig Counsell, second base.
Yeah. Well, there's a Marlin. We've seen a Marlin.
Yeah.
Oh, we did see a Rocky. We got Larry Walker up there.
Got Jeff Shaw, pitcher for the Reds, and Tony Graffanino. Cool.
Is he like Mark Lemke or Jeff Blauser? Is he that level of infielder where it's like he was fine for what he needed to be?
Oh, here we go. Andrew Jones on the gold.
Oh, that is a good one.
Of course, I'm pretty sure Andrew Jones, we'd have to put him in left field.
Well, I think Brady Anderson was a center fielder.
All right, well, that works. Because Andrew is outfield quality for our board.
Oh, yeah. Andrew Jones he's one of those guys. He's severely underrated. We forget how good he was. And he's up for the Hall of Fame. I don't know if he made it, but he's on the ballot.
Stay up there, Andrew.
He jumped. He must not have made it. He can't face it. I didn't make it.
We got the Larry Walker checklist. Nice.
Well, they had some good checklists.
Well, that was kind of their only insert card, so that's pretty neat. I mean, it is a cool looking checklist. Jerry DePoto. We got Russ Davis, third base for the Mariners. Ricky Batalico.
Yeah, he was okay.
Pitcher for the Phillies. Mike Stanley, first baseman for the Blue Jays. He was kind of a big pop guy, wasn't he?
Hmm?
Through the night.
Mike Stanley?
Yeah, he had never mind. He only had 125 home runs in 1,000 games. So he was not I must be thinking of
10 or 11 games.
Must be thinking of somebody else.
Andrew Jones only got 61% of the vote this year.
We got Mike Myers, big time actor in the 90s. No.
Yep. I remember him in So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Brian Giles. Brian Giles was pretty decent.
He was.
Not a huge home run guy, but he was a hitter.
I think he was on that team that made a run at the World Series for Cleveland or in the 90s.
Troy O'Leary for the Red Sox and Norm Charlton.
Ooh, that's Norm Charlton, I think, towards the end of his career.
Yep.
He was more known for playing in Cincinnati. He was on, I think, that championship team in Cincinnati. Him and Myers and Dibble made up the Nasty Boys. And you had Chris Sabo. I think Eric Davis was on that team.
Well, and
It was a fun team to watch in the 90s.
We're starting to see, and especially when you look at like this card right here, you got Harold Baines. You're starting to see some of those 90s guys that we looked at in the beginning. They're starting to get to the end of their career, and now we're starting to see the tide shift over into the newer crowd of players.
Yeah, but it's like if you look so far, our newer players they're not that spectacular either.
Let me tell you, the year 2000's not going to be spectacular, Ray. Just telling you. Travis Lee.
How do you know? That's in the future.
Danny Darwin, Giants pitch. See, these cards, they must not have had all the rights to everybody. Which makes sense. Pacific wasn't a big company at this point. Francisco Cordova, Duran Stovall.
I do not even remember Duran Stovall.
Me either. Let's see, we got Mike McDonte. Boy, I tell you what, I do not like these. Hey, there's Dante.
Hey, how's it going, Dante?
The writing.
Unfortunately, you are not a better left fielder than Andrew Jones.
No.
I'm a big fan of. Oh, Sandy Martinez was a good catcher. No, he wasn't. I'm thinking of Sandy Alomar.
Yes.
Don't listen to me. I was thinking of Sandy Alomar. How many guys are named Sandy?
And then you got Rick DeLucia to finish that one off. Look at that mustache.
Not better than Schilling.
What a mustache.
Sorry, Rick DeLucia.
All right. Boy, I tell you, I have to look into this set and see what kind of rights they had, because we're not seeing any of the big name guys. I mean, you should be seeing Jeter and Eric Davis here.
Eric Davis at the end of his career.
Jeff King, the Royals checklist. I like the checklist cards better than I like the regular cards. What's up with that?
Yeah, the checklist cards are good, even though I don't think Jeff King is really checklist worthy, but
Bill Mueller for the Giants. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny that the cards themselves are okay, but I think the checklist, nobody's probably ever said the checklist is more exciting than the regular cards. Esteban.
Hey, it's Esteban Loaiza.
Yep.
I love that name, Esteban.
Then we got Mike Morgan. Twins. A lot of pitchers, a lot of catchers, and a lot of battery.
Yeah, a lot of battery.
There's a Astros. Also liked their uniforms in 1998. Anyway, let's see. Alex Gonzalez, shortstop for the Blue Jays. Different. Kevin Ory, third base. That's a cool picture, at least.
Yeah, it is.
The Cubs were horrible back then. So.
Yeah, they were. They were falling off a cliff at that point.
Because I remember on WGN tuning in just to watch Harry Carey, just to see what he would do.
Holy cow!
Probably what he's saying. It's like, I hope this team's going to get good before I retire. It's like, nope, Harry, they wouldn't. Like they were gonna.
And as we were talking, as we open up to a gold lettering of Tom Gordon here, Red Sox. The 90s had a very specific look, and these cards are straight up 90s.
Because the 90s loved lightning and glowing. And so it's like you've got the glowing online with the lightning making it glow. I mean, we loved radiation in the 90s too.
Paul Konerko, I remember he would always torture the Rockies.
Well, then we don't like him.
Brent Maine, catcher, solid.
That's
catcher.
a good catcher.
Yep. Ooh, Mark Leiter. Good pitcher.
He was a good pitcher. There's a lot of these pitchers. So many pitchers.
David Cohn, another good pitcher.
Another good pitcher, but you're not beating out Schilling because you're wearing a Yankee uniform anyway.
Darren Jackson, outfield. Brewers. Ooh, another Rocky, Jeff Reed.
Catcher.
Brian Rose, pitcher for the Red Sox. And finish this pack out with Scott Erickson. Golly, a lot of pitchers, a lot of catchers. I did not.
Scott Erickson was a good pitcher, but not Schilling's level, but he was good.
Luckily we filled out a little bit of this board. We need a third base, we need a second base, and a first base.
Usually it's like third base is always hard to fill. First base is usually really easy.
Jose Lima on the gold.
We need a Todd Helton.
Mo Vaughn. All right, we got a first baseman at least. Big Mo Vaughn.
Yep, Big Mo Vaughn.
I think he's already been on there, but
he has. He was the first one eliminated in my first baseman one.
Mike Kelly, outfielder for the Rays.
But when you got Albert Pujols, who was really else going to win the first base job?
Yeah, we got Delino DeShields. I think he's going to go up at second.
Well, I don't think we've ever had him up there either.
Nope. Barry, you stay put. We got Dave Malecki. Oh, come on, Barry. Come on, Barry. Looks like I gotta.
Barry, you are a Hall of Famer. You cannot claim you didn't get enough of the vote.
I think my stand. There we go. Everything's falling apart, guys.
Oh no!
It's all falling apart. All right.
It fell.
All right. You know what?
This reminds me of the '89 earthquake.
It's been, we've been doing this for how many weeks and that hasn't happened. So I'm just going to take it in stride and fix it. But
it's like, it's like the '89 earthquake. Everybody falls down. It's fine.
It's fine. Like I said, it's just been one of those mornings. We haven't had this problem once, and then all of a sudden...
I'm telling you right now, you may not want to go outside today.
That is true.
You may not want to leave the house.
Mr. Barry, you're just going to stay down, because you're clearly not having it today.
Yeah, you clearly do not want to stay up on the board.
Joe, you're going to go back down here. Kurt, you're sitting up there. Larry, staple in right field. All right. Back to action here. Dave Malecki. We got Marquise Grissom. I think he was in our set, wasn't he?
Yep. Marquise Grissom has made one of our teams.
Then we got Geronimo Baroa. Hey, that's a cool name.
It is a cool name. I don't think Geronimo Baroa was that great, but I think he has a couple good seasons with them.
Okay, one question.
But it's a great name, Geronimo.
One question in this picture, Randy. Where the hell is the bat?
Yeah, that's what. Oh, it broke.
Is it?
He's holding the handle.
Oh, broken bat. Okay, now I see it. I'm going. There's no bat.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too. And then it's like, oh wait, his bat was broken.
All right, we got Donnie Sadler, second base, and Denny Nagel, future Rocky. Horrible decision.
He didn't do anything for us.
Horrible decision for the Rockies, taking him at the end of his career. That's pretty cool. We got a gold checklist.
Geronimo Baroa played for 9 different teams in 11 years.
Solid journeyman.
Yes, solid journeyman. All right.
So we got a gold checklist of Nomar. That's pretty neat.
That is good. See, like we said, the checklists are like the best part of these packs.
Jim Edmonds would have been a good one to throw up on the wall. He's not quite good enough to make it, but
not quite good enough to beat Anderson.
he could have been up there in the beginning.
He could have.
And then we got Wilvio Veras. Don't remember him even a little bit.
Kilvio Veras. I remember Kilvio Veras. He wasn't a player for a long, long time, but he was good. Hey, it's Delino.
Delino.
We should put him at second.
We got Bobby Jones pitcher. Then we got Tim Belcher. Pretty decent pitcher for the Royals.
He was kind of a guy that bounced around a little bit too.
Ryan Jackson for the Marlins. Don't remember him. Johnny Sadler, second baseman for the Red Sox. And Keith Lockhart, second baseman. See, but I love the picture because he's got the flip-up sunglasses, that was just so cool back in the day.
You know, and you could tell he's getting ready. It looks like it's going to be just a routine play to first because he's not really looking like he's in too much of a rush.
Yeah. Gold of Mark Smith. Yay.
Yay.
Oh, there's a good one.
Yeah, Kerry Wood.
That's a Kerry Wood checklist. I'm like half tempted to put him up, not because he was better than Schilling. I don't want to start that as an argument. But Kerry Wood back in this time he was kind of a killer.
Oh, Kerry Wood was supposed to be the next big thing, but I think injuries are what derailed Kerry's career. But he was spectacular early on. I remember I had high hopes for him with the Cubs.
Well, he had that 20 strikeout game? And
yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, it was like a big deal because he tied the record for strikeouts, it was all over.
Well, he was a 20-year-old rookie when he recorded 20 strikeouts in a one-hitter against the Astros.
Yeah.
Which some have argued that may be the greatest single-game pitching performance in MLB history. Well, I mean, you only give up one hit and you strike out 20 guys.
It was a big deal. But
his nickname was Kid K.
After that, I don't think he really lived up to the hype.
Nope, he ended up 86-75 with a 3.67 ERA. It's like he ended up playing for 14 seasons in the MLB, but man, I don't know what. He had 63 saves. They tried to make him a closer, I guess, at the end of his career.
Ooh, Brian McRae. I liked Brian McRae. Good outfielder.
Yeah.
Not a big, he wasn't going to be the guy on the team, but Wilton Guerrero, different Guerrero.
Not Vladimir Guerrero?
Not Vlad. Rafael Medina, Marlins.
He was Funky Cole, is what I
hear. Funky Cole, huh?
Yeah, Funky Cole Medina.
Mike Cameron.
Hey, it was the 90s.
It was. Mike Cameron for the Sox, good outfielder. Scott Brow for the Diamondbacks. Don't remember him, and he played in our division, so don't know what that says.
Well, obviously he was not a Rockies killer then, because...
Look at that. Go back to the gold. Kerry Wood. Start things off. Mr. 20 strikeouts. We'll take him. 20 strikeouts, that's a heck of a feat, so...
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
I mean,
Greggy boy.
Yeah, I mean, I'd still one of the best ever. Have we had him on a team? I think we did have him on a team.
Yeah,
I think we did put him.
He's just never been. He's always been edged out. Like you'd argue that Kurt's better than. it's hard. See, that's the argument. Because is Kurt better than Greg? I don't know. Greg was a stud.
Greg was amazing. He was an amazing pitcher. I mean, to me, it's like the best pitcher was Randy Johnson, but to me, Greg Maddux is definitely up in the upper echelon of great pitchers.
On camera. Focusing on Jamie Moyer.
I mean, just the weirdest thing is like he was always around the plate. He barely walked anybody, and people still didn't get that many hits off of him.
Kevin,
You know,
look at that guy. He's built like a DH.
it's like he is built like a DH. Although at one point he did play in the outfield because he made that barehanded catch.
Yeah.
Over his shoulder. So
Roger Cedeno for the Dodgers. Danny Patterson, pitcher for the Rangers, sorry. Then we got Henry Rodriguez for the Cubbies. We still need a third baseman. Scott Erickson.
the weird part is the first third baseman we pulled, Hollins or whatever, is probably the best third baseman we've had in this whole thing, and that's not saying much.
Yeah. Oh, we still got a few packs to go.
Are we going to end up with Scott Leyes again?
I haven't seen.
I'm hoping he's retired by then.
Well, let's see. We got Paul Quantrill. I wonder if Cal Quantrill is related to him. And the big hurt, Frank Thomas.
He's been on quite a few of our all-star teams.
Yeah,
he is one of the best. He is one of the best first basemen.
Sterling Hitchcock for the Padres.
Not one of the best pitchers.
Kevin Mitchell back again, making his second. We got Tim Raines.
Tim Rock Raines.
Got Cowell, first base. Hey, one of my favorites, Pedro Estacio.
Yeah, always liked Pedro Estacio.
He was
always wanted him to be have a more prolific career here, but he did pretty well as a Rockies pitcher.
For pitching here in a non-humidor era when you could just rapidly drop home runs. Boyle's solid catcher. He did very well.
Yeah, it's like I like Pedro Estacio. I'd argue he might be my favorite Rockies pitcher.
And gold here, starting out with Pat Rapp. Hey, there's Sandy Alomar. You were thinking.
Hey, there he is. He was just waiting to make his appearance later.
Right. Then we got future Rockies coach Glenn Allen Hill. Mark Lewis, second baseman, Phillies. Ron Coomer, third base for the Twins.
Hey, we had Scott Leyes, who was a third baseman for the Twins. Maybe we were meant to put Scott Coomer up there.
Dan Plesac, pitcher for the Blue Jays. And we Doug Brokaw, Detroit pitcher. Got Ayers. Man, these pitchers. Yeah, so my guess is, by looking at these cards, come on, camera, focus. Mike Holtz. They probably didn't have the rights to all the different players in the league at the time.
I mean, we haven't seen an A-Rod. We haven't seen a Jeter. We haven't seen an O'Neill. We haven't seen... I mean, there are some great players that are out there that we have not.
Hey, there's a
third baseman.
Chipper Jones. There you go. You made it. Checklist.
Yeah, all right. It's like just going, where's our third baseman? There he is, Chipper Jones.
And my stands aren't working today, so guess what, Chipper? You're going to go on the purple stand. How about that? At least we know that one's going to stay up there.
Yeah, that'll stay. That's not going anywhere.
Tony Saunders, pitcher for the Rays. Donovan Osborne, pitcher. So very pitcher-heavy packs, catchers. Brian Bohannon. I always liked him.
Well, because the thing is, it's like there are so many bullpen guys you could put in there for no money.
Right, and that's what I'm assuming that Pacific didn't have the money to pay for the rights to all the big time guys. Hey,
No Barry Bonds isn't in there.
Sean Dunstan's in here though.
Oh, Sean Dunston. The Sean-O-meter. Boy, I forgot he played for Cleveland.
Yeah.
He must have been at the very end of his career. That was a fan favorite for me. He was always one of my favorite players when he was with the Cubbies.
Jason Varitek and Chris Carpenter, pitcher. Well, that's at least interesting to think about. That Pacific, they just, it makes sense that they were new. They didn't have enough money to pay for the rights for all the big time guys, so they just, they did what they could. Pacific wasn't around for that long, so.
Well, because when you open up these packs, I mean, there's Moises Alou. That's a good player.
Good player.
But it's like when you're not going to get.
Oh, sorry, Delino.
A Mark McGuire, a Sammy Sosa.
I don't know if you saw, but Craig Biggio took over Delino's spot.
Yeah, did you? Because it's like, well, the thing is, it's like Craig Biggio. It tells you it's like he's one of the best second basemen because this will be the third team he's been on.
Yeah.
But it's just tough to find a better second baseman than him.
Right.
I mean, it's like if you're going to have a second baseman in that era, it's going to be Biggio.
And in the late 90s, you could not miss Hippolito Picardo.
Oh, I know. What a great name, too. Hippolito. Oh, man. Hippolito.
Pat Henkin.
He was good. He was a good pitcher.
But it just goes to, like, it's very interesting, like I said, the fact that, they did what they could to find players that were, they could make cards out of, and they were trying to capitalize on the internet, trying to.
Well, I'm wondering if also maybe they had maybe some of the bigger names, but to make the cards more rare, they really did only put a few of the big names in packs. I mean, like maybe getting a Barry Bonds was a 1 in a 50 pack thing. So I'd be interested to see how much some of these cards are worth. Probably not much because they're Pacific, but
got a checklist for the Big Hurt. Nice. That's the checklist.
We can make an all-star team out of the checklists.
Gary Sheffield arguably could be up on the wall.
He could be in Brady Anderson's spot. I don't know if he was a great center fielder, but he was definitely a great hitter.
Aaron Small. See, Mike Buddy. Jose Mercedes.
Wait, did you say My Buddy? Is that toy My Buddy?
Mike DeJean. Ooh.
Not a good pitcher, but he's a Rocky.
He's a Rocky, but he was not good.
No, he was not.
Steve Traxel, not a bad pitcher.
Yeah, Traxel was okay.
And then you got another GOAT, Mr. Tom Glavine.
Yeah, Glavine was amazing too.
I think
the Braves should have won more World Series.
I want to say Glavine, we've had the discussion on Kurt versus Glavine before.
Yeah, but I think Glavine overtook him in one of them. I think we have had Glavine as a starter.
Well, and it makes sense because
he was a good lefty.
Wow, we're going to run right through this whole box of cards today because I'll tell you what, they're not we just haven't found anything worthy of much chat, but especially look, we got Mark Petkovic.
This guy who I don't remember has got a gold foil card.
Another great checklist, Manny Ramirez.
I'm sorry, but that's a waste of an insert.
Yeah, but then you got Manny on the checklist. See, the checklist was the best.
I know.
The best
like
card
I said,
in
the
the
checklists
set.
were better.
Dan Javier, outfielder. Jason McDonald.
Played 20 games in September.
Jorge Posada.
He was a really good catcher too.
Yeah.
Underrated, but he did get some championships in that with those Yankees teams.
Chad Fox. Jeff Branson, second base. See, Billy Green, third base. I wonder how much one of these packs cost back in 1998. Because to me, it seems a little bit crazy that people would buy them. And if you figured out very quickly that you weren't getting big name guys, it would be tough to sell as far as. So they might have been cheaper pack. I don't remember opening. Oh, look at that. Your favorite player, Derek Jeter.
I know I said we haven't seen him, but I didn't want to.
You might be right. They might have just very sparingly put the other guys like Jeter and A-Rod
and Bonds.
Yeah.
You know what the thing is? We don't ever get a Bonds.
Yeah, I don't think...
we've never pulled a Barry Bonds.
I think you are correct, which is kind of... That's interesting.
It is interesting. Maybe Barry Bonds didn't want to be on baseball cards at a certain point.
Kevin Sefcik.
Because I do remember having some Barry Bonds cards when he was with the Pirates.
Jose Lima for the Stros, and then we got Jason Bates. Hey.
Yay, Jason Bates. Good. I mean, at least we've gotten a Bichette and a Rocky Walker, so we've gotten some good, and an Estachio.
Tom Gordon.
We've gotten some good Rocky.
We got Jeff Rabelais.
Yeah, Jeff Rabelais.
That is interesting that we haven't pulled a Bonds out of here, or out of any of our cards.
Yeah, we haven't pulled a Bonds. I'd put him on the outfield in a heartbeat, but we just, come on, Sal Fasano. Look at these gold cards. They're just.
And then here we go.
You could make a great AAA team out of our gold foil cards.
Derek Jeter once again. So look at there's two Jeters.
Oh yeah, now Derek Jeter's gonna come up here to mock me.
Charles Johnson, you opened your mouth. It's your fault.
Yeah, it's my fault.
Alex Arias, shortstop.
Well, I keep saying we don't get a Barry Bonds. Where's our Barry Bonds card?
Alex Ochoa for the Twins. Lee Stevens, DH for the Rangers. Curtis Goodwin. Yay. Another Rocky.
Another bust Rocky.
Yeah, we both know that guy didn't do anything.
Yeah, we know.
One of my favorite second basemen, Mickey Morandini.
Yep, Mickey, great name. Love some of these names were always just so good.
Oh, and then there's poor Norm again.
Norm at the end. Sorry, Norm. Hey, Norm, it's Norm. He looks like he'd be at the end of a bar drinking.
Let's see, this is 2 packs left. Let's see what we can get. Maybe Bonds will show himself here. We got Wilton Guerrero.
Boy, another wasted gold card. Good. Like I said, man, the checklist ones are they're all good except for Jeff King.
John Marzano. Jeff Jenkins. Shannon Stewart. Johnny Damon.
I like Johnny Damon.
Yeah, Damian Easley. Ruben Sierra. We'll take that one. It was later, but Chuck Finley.
You know what? I bet you the White Sox now wish they had Ruben Sierra now because he'd be better than a lot of their players now.
And finish off with Chuck Finley. Okay, now we got one last pack.
All right, so the last pack here, who do you think we're getting for the last card? Well, there he is.
Let's see. Chad Fox in the gold. Woohoo.
We got
Javi Lopez.
Johnny.
He's been on our
Greatest triple. Yeah, he has been. We've had him up there. Greatest AAA team ever assembled with all of our gold foil cards.
Charlie Hayes, third base. Charlie was good. Played for the Rockies. Pretty sure he was on the Yankees team that beat the Braves.
I mean, I always liked Charlie Hayes.
Jason Kendall, catcher.
He was a really good catcher.
Anthony Telford, pitcher. See, we got Darren Dreifert. And in the chat, Skylar, I hope you guys have a great day as well. Let's see, we got Mark Kotze, decent Marlin. Couple cards left. We got 2. Eddie Taubensee. All right. Wow. Okay.
I have not heard that name in forever.
Finishing off strong here. All right. Last card for Pacific Online. Wow, we opened up all the packs out of that box. That was pretty fun.
At least we were able to get our third baseman, which we were struggling with.
Yes, we got Chipper. All right. Last card. Let's see. Oh, yay. Diamondbacks. Omar Dahl.
I mean, Omar Dahl wasn't terrible. He wasn't. He was a pretty good pitcher for a little bit. But yeah, it figures. It's on another Arizona Diamondbacks pitcher. I think we got their entire rotation in these packs, except for Randy Johnson.
And then you look at this stack of cards that I have here. That was
wow.
That was a lot of cards that we just opened, and boy, the wall is filled. You got Big Mo Vaughn, you got Larry Walker, you got BGO at second, Brady Anderson center, Andrew Jones in left, Chipper Jones, got the 2 Joneses.
Both Braves.
Both Braves trying to keep up with the Joneses is tough out there.
Yep, trying to keep up with the Joneses and the Braveses.
Barry Larkin at short. We got Kurt Schilling at pitcher and Joe Girardi at catcher. We probably could have moved Joe. Joe Girardi probably could have been switched out, but
could have been switched out for maybe Kendall or even Sandy Alomar. But Joe Girardi was a Rocky and he was a Cub. So it's like, I mean, yeah, he coached the Yankees, but he didn't coach them to any championships, I don't think.
I don't know.
No, because I think all the championships were Joe Torre.
The Pacific Online. Here I am thinking about. I'm trying to think about what to say about this set because I don't remember this set growing up. I mean, it probably, like I said, it wasn't that big of a thing yet. Pacific wasn't really around. But boy, you look at the cards that we got, and these checklists were hands down the best cards in this whole set. I mean, oh, everything's falling again. It's a good thing this episode's almost over, Randy, because it's just been such a rough morning.
So he did win a championship as a manager in 2009. He coached the Yankees from 2008 to 2017 and did win a World Series as a manager in 2009. So he did do it as a player and a coach.
Nice. So we got Gary Sheffield in the checklist, Manny Ramirez, Frank Thomas, Kerry Wood, Nomar Garciaparra. Well, Jeff King doesn't belong in there, but Larry Walker, Cal Ripken Jr., and Chipper Jones. We basically could have filled out a wonderful all-star team just from the checklist cards that we got in this set.
Yeah, because we had a pitcher, we had the outfield was complete. We had a first baseman, a third baseman, a shortstop. We really, I don't think we had a catcher, did we? And I don't think we had a second baseman. But boy, we did, because King was our second baseman, I think. Yeah, we could have almost filled out the team with checklists.
It's been, like I said, we talked about Jeter. We had a couple Jeters in there. Obviously, Jeter could have gone in up on the wall. Barry, Jeter. I like Barry better. I know you like Barry better. So it just kind of,
it's like Jeter will never go up on the wall, even if our shortstop is Walt Weiss. I'm not putting Jeter up on that wall.
Yeah, Unfortunately,
It's like,
I'm not willing to throw the Jeter cards like I am the Chris Bryant cards, but uh, that's how it goes. What do you say?
oh, to me, Jeter is up there with players that I cannot stand. He is up there with Kobe Bryant. He is up there with Bill Belichick. He is up there with, I mean, just the people that all time I cannot stand in sport. He is up there with them. He would be on the Mount Rushmore of players I hate.
Well, we all have those. Any Cardinal is generally for me, but you know. Oh, and Chris Bryant. Chris Bryant.
Yeah, and
And
Chris Bryant.
ugh, ugh.
It's like Chris Bryant, you're on the Mount Rushmore of I hate you.
Oh, here's an interesting. We'll go ahead and end on this, Randy. Seems like the perfect time to do it. Um, just totally random, has nothing to do with the 1998 set, but I did just get this in from Topps this weekend, and it's pretty cool. It's a home run redemption card that I got from one of the home run challenges of 2024. And I was waiting to open it because I haven't opened it yet, but let's open this guy up and see what kind of a parallel I got. So basically,
Yeah.
it was a call your shot card, and you had to pick the day that certain player was going to hit a home run. And I actually happened to just find a Fernando Tatis one, so I put it in and I picked a day, and I happened to pick a right day. So this is a September parallel for Fernando Tatis Jr. I have not looked at it yet, so we'll go ahead and pull it out and see what we got. We got styrofoam. Woohoo!
You know what that looks like? That looks like the styrofoam from Sega CD games. When you would open up a Sega CD game, there was the styrofoam that you would have to put back in there. And a lot of people just threw it away. I put it back in because it held the CD in place better.
All right, here we go. Boom. All right, home run challenge winner Fernando Tatis Jr. Little shiny parallel in the orange. And
Is it a sticker?
no, it's a card.
Well, because look, it kind of looks like it's got an outline like it could be. I guess that's just the outline of the design, but it does. It looks like it could be a sticker. This is a cool looking card, though.
Yeah, and
It's a nice looking card.
it's numbered 141 out of 1887. So my guess is that in September, 1,887 people uh, picked right days for Tatis to win or to hit a home run. Let's see, winner Fernando Tatis. Here. So that's a cool card. I like it. It's a, kind of one of a kind. Well, it's one of 1,887 kind, but fun card. I didn't expect to actually win anything, so that's kind of cool. Sucks that it took 3 months to get here, but there we go. We unveiled that bad boy on the stream. You guys saw it first with me. I was patient and I opened it up and I waited, which is hard for me to do. So that's not to say I didn't look them up online beforehand to see what they look like, but that's beyond the point.
Yeah. I knew what it was going to look like, but I hadn't seen this one yet.
I hadn't seen that.
Number, what was it, 141?
Yeah, 141 out of 1887.
So see, you hadn't seen that yet.
Had not seen that. So that'll about do it for this show, Randy. I think so. Next week, my plan is it'll be the first episode of the new year, and I think we're gonna jump into Garbage Pail Kids next for that one. Kirk couldn't join us this week, so I had to push us back. I think we will jump into. I got a hobby box of Garbage Pail Kids Chrome. And it's a recreate of the 1986, I believe. I never got into Garbage Pail Kids. I don't know what they look like. I don't I've never even seen Garbage Pail Kids. That's why Kirk was going to join us. He was a big collector, and it was a cheaper box. I just figured it would be something that would be fun to open up, and lots of parallels and fun stuff. So that'll be next week. We've got 2000 coming up, which was the first year after Y2K where we figured out nothing bad happened. So that'll be up in one of the next episodes after the Garbage Pail Kids. And then I also have, I don't know if I told you about this one or not. I can find it here. One of the other sets I have coming up is the 2008 first edition update from Upper Deck. That was a fun one to find because it will be the 2007 season, which is when the Rockies went to the World Series, which was, I don't know, pretty cool for me. I really enjoyed it because we'll talk about that more. We'll talk about that more when we do the 2008 set, but we do have some pretty interesting sets coming up, so hopefully everybody will join us for these next couple sets. And Randy, thank you so much for joining me today and going through these mediocre players from 1998.
So many mediocre players.
So, well, once again, thanks everybody for joining us. We'll say goodbye to 1998, just as we say goodbye to 2024. I hope everybody has a wonderful New Year's Eve. Be safe out there. Don't drink and drive. Gotta say it. But we also gotta say that we will see everybody next year.
Yeah. See you next year.
Have a good day, guys.